Okay, now that I have this code, right, I have this file system, what do I write inside that? How do I know what to write inside that, right? So that is where documentation comes in very, very, very handy. So let's actually go for the Terraform AWS documentation. I'm just typing this Terraform AWS documentation. Probably should give me the Terraform registry docs, blah, blah, blah. And here, the first thing that I need to do is on the extreme right, you have something called as use provider. So you need to copy this block, which is going to tell you how to use the provider, right? So this is the first thing that I do. I copy this and paste it over here, right? Oh, this is doing some beta thing. Okay, let's actually see. So if you see that was doing version 6.00 with beta. No, I don't want that. I want a stable version. So just change the version over here that is 5.98 and then you could use the same configuration over this, right? Now because we are actually learning, we will not like something to crash because we never know why it is crashing, right? So this is the provider. In the provider, what you could actually define is the region. So you here, if you see, there is also a documentation that they have provided, and they have also given you the first thing that you can create, which is a VPC. So let's see the region. I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. So this is the region in which I want to create my resource. This is this, right? I'll just save it, right? And let's actually do an init and see if it works or not. Now, do I have Terraform or not? Right, I have Terraform installed on my laptop already. Now, what if you don't have Terraform installed on your laptop? Excellent question. So go for Terraform download. Again, it will take you to documentation which will be cloud agnostic. If you're on Mac, you can follow these steps. If you are on Windows, download this and run it. If you are on Linux, you could follow either of these options, right? So this is how you could get Terraform installed on your laptop. Excellent. Any questions? Now that I have Terraform installed, what is the first command that we will do? We will be initializing the repository. Now, before I initialize the repository, let me show you how the repository looks like. I just increase the font. TF5, sorry, ls-la says that there is nothing. There's no dot files or anything. There's only one file called as main.tf, and if I do a cat to this main.tf, it says the provider is this and the region that I've set is this. That's it. Yes. So the first thing that I do is call it init. What init does is it will download the plugins. It is going to download the plugins from the internet onto your system. How does the download plugin look like? If you want to have a live view of it, this is how a dot folder is created. The license file comes in, and here's the provider file, right? So this is the actual file which is going to run your Terraform resources or create the resources for you. If you want to see initialization was successful, ls-la actually shows you this. If I do ls-la for this .terraform folder and again slash providers registry, so HashiCorp, AWS 5.98, I am on Windows. So this is the file that I have, ls-larh, and then this should give me the exact file in MB, that is 682 MB file. Oh god, I never knew this was this big. I The last I checked it was like 60 MB or something, right? So that is 2 years ago. But yeah, this is what we are dealing with. Okay, so this is how the initialization works. So what happens in initialization? This binary file is downloaded, nothing else. As of now, nothing else is happening. Now this is again a different file which it's Terraform has created. It's a Terraform block.hcl. You don't have to mess with it. Just leave it as it is. Nothing to be worried about it. Now coming back to the main.pf, what is the first thing that you would like to do? Let's say I want to create a VPC. Excellent. And even the Terraform documentation was saying create a VPC only, right? But I'm not going to use this block. What I'll do is I'll search for VPC on the extreme left, right? And maybe scroll down and try to find if you find AWS underscore VPC. So AWS underscore VPC is found, right? Now there are two things in Terraform. One is called as a resource, the other is called as a data block, right? The resource block is responsible for creating the resources on AWS. A data block is responsible for reading the resources. We'll be using the data block. Don't worry about that. But as of now, we are using the resource block. A resource block is used for reading the resources. Now, let's say you are working with GCP, right? Which I plan to work with. I've been doing some stuff with GCP also. So let's say I'm working with GCP. I also go with an N-1 version of it. And this is how so there is this thing called as documentation. In GCP, what is a VCP called as? I don't know. VPC service control. So let's see what is a VPC. Okay. What I definitely know is a storage. So that is called a bucket. So even in GCP, we have S3 buckets, right? So Google Storage Bucket is what we have. Now, if you see this Google Storage Bucket is a data source, right? So it starts with the data. That means it is not going to create the object for you, or it is not going to create the bucket for you. What it is going to do is it is just going to read it from the GCP console. But if you have the resource, that is this, it is going to create the bucket for you. So this is the code that is used to create a bucket in GCP. Now, can I put this code in my main.tf and will it work? No, it is not going to work. Why? Because the provider that I've selected is AWS. The provider which it is using is Google, right? The provider which it is using is Google, right? The provider is Google. If you see over here, this is the provider details. Understood? This is the provider. The provider is Google. That's why if I have a provider of AWS, I will not be able to create Google resources, right? Obviously, you need to make them separate by default. I'll close this Google stuff. We're not into that. So here, if you now notice, everything is AWS at the starting. That means it is using the AWS provider. That is the significance of it. Now there are two options that you have. Copy the first block or copy the second block. Now, common sense says the second block is having more information, so probably this is better to be copied. So this is, I copy this, right? Now let's try to make sense of what this is. So when you're creating a VPC, what are the different things that you'll need? You'll need number one is the CIDR block, number one. Number two, you need to know the region in which you want to create it. That is the region we have defined it over here. And you need to give a name to the VPC. So I call it as my VPC01, right? I'll add another tag that is created by, and I'll call it as Terraform, right? And the CIDR block, let's say because this is batch number 38 for me, I'll call it as batch number 38. The 10.38.0.0/16 is what I have. Make sense? I hope so. Now, LSFNL. I already have the provider with me. The next thing that I need to do is Terraform plan. You hit enter and Terraform is going to do its magic. It is going to read your configuration, that is main.tf, and it knows that okay, this person is requesting me to create a resource. The resource is AWS VPC. It is a VPC in AWS provider. It will see if the provider is mentioned or not. Yes, the provider is there. It's not just the provider, it should also be the required providers, right? So this is the actual provider that was there. right? The provider is matching. That means you are now able to create it. Now, what are the options that I have selected? The option that I have selected is CIDR block, which is visible over here. The option that I have selected is instance tenancy, which is default. If you remember, there are two, it's either default or dedicated. I'll go with this, and we have selected some tags. If you remember, when we did the RDS part, RDS was complaining that we should have DNS host names enabled, right? So if you want, you could enable this as well. How do you enable it? I don't know how to enable it. So AWS is going to give you some documentation around it. This is how it looks like. So enable DNS hostname. It's in the same page itself. We just have to scroll down or do a control F, and you will see it's an optional flag and it's a Boolean flag. So what does a Boolean flag mean? Either yes or no. So I'll call it this. What is that? I'll call it that equals to true, right? That's a Boolean flag, and I've done that. Let's say I'll do a plan again. This time, whatever I could remember, I have already added it to this, right? So whatever I could remember, options that are needed for creating an AWS account, AWS VPC have done that. So what I'll do is now I'll do a Terraform apply apply. If I do a Terraform apply, what is going to happen? It is again going to give me a plan. Let's try to understand what the plan is. Terraform, use the selected provider to generate the following execution plan. Resource actions indicate the following symbols. Plus indicates create, right? There could be some other options also, which we will be looking in the next run. In this, there's only create, so that's why we have a plus symbol, which is here. What is it creating? It's creating AWS VPC. How is it creating? So these are the options that it has provided. Everything looks okay to me. So what I'll do is say yes, and it will say that created equal to 1. It should say created equal to 1. So let's actually see if it even does that. Still creating is what it complains about. So let's go to VPC and let's go into the right region, which is US East 1, and see what has happened. So apply completed, resources 1 added. So basically AWS says it added 1 resource. Now let's actually go into the AWS console and see if it even added the resource or is it just nothing. Luckily I see 2 VPCs, but both are with the same name. How do we know which one is which? There are 2 ways in which you can determine. Number 1, the CIDR range I kept it as 10.38.0.0/16, and the other one is tags. It says created by Terraform. Okay, this is how you can create your VPC. Let's say I'm done with the day, which I am, with today's class, and I want to delete the VPC that we just created using Terraform. All I have to do is say Terraform destroy, which is destroy, and it is going to destroy the VPC for me. So the VPC will be deleted. Obviously, it's going to give you a yes or a no question. But this time, if you see, it says minus, which is destroy, plus, which is create, minus, which is destroy. There is one more thing, which is change, which is actually in tilde. That is, I'll show you this once this condition is completed. The button which is below escape in your key. So this is tilde. So this symbol actually indicates changes, right? So you will see what those changes are and stuff in the coming classes. But this is basically how you start writing your code in Terraform. All clear? Now there is this TF state file that gets created. Unfortunately, you don't have anything inside this TF state file. Why? Because you actually destroyed the stuff. If you want to have a look at it, very simple, just say Terraform apply. It will ask you for a yes or a no. Just say yes. Look at the state file. This should very soon change to version 5, and it is going to have some details about it. So let's wait for the creating to complete. Still creating. created, and this is how the thing works. So the serial is 5, and what it has done, it has created a resource. So resources mode is managed, type is AWS VPC. This is the CIDR block. This is the ACL. This is the route table, the default route table, the default network ACL, the default security group. This is the VPC ID. Everything that you believe is needed for AWS VPC. That information is over here. In the coming class, that is tomorrow, we would, when I say tomorrow, whenever the next class is, so we would actually be looking at how to use this information from the state file to actually create other resources. When I mean other resources, it is the subnets, the route tables, and everything that we did to test our production environment. We'll try to do that same thing. So we'll be creating public subnet, private subnets, and all of that, right? So let's play around with that and try to get into a conclusion.